What do you think we get the best guidance from?
You want my honest opinion?
Sure.
One way we could do better with our monies, outside of us having some type of unity and all of that, would be to put that money into the black community. Keep it within the black family. A lot of us are struggling because a lot of our money goes towards tithings and offerings that we never see back. They don't go back to the community. If you look at most communities, the houses are ran down, boarded up, burnt up, if they're even standing, but most of the churches are still intact. All right, a lot of these homeless people out here don't have a home within the church. A lot of the issues that go on within the church, the most they get is a little prayer chain, when they could use a house, car. You know what I'm saying? I don't do religion at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why that flag right there is flying high. I am into Pan-Africanism. Okay, I'm more about our ancestral roots.
Okay.
Right? And we weren't born knowing the Bible, knowing Jesus, knowing any of that. And all of that came about thousands of years after we were already in existence. We were introduced to that by the same people that raped us, murdered us, kidnapped our women and children, enslaved us, right? And all of that other stuff. They took everything that we had, everything that made us who we were. The only thing they allowed us, we weren't even allowed to read, right? If they found out we could read, write, anything like that, 9 times out of 10, we were out of there.
Right.
So, if they didn't want us to have anything that was good for us, why was the Bible pushed in our face every Sunday? Why were they making the few people that they did allow to read those scriptures to us while they were cracking those whips on us? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
one more thing.
in a nutshell, to me, a true knowledge of self, history, and culture would be the start to making all of this stuff that we go through a lot better. To put us in a better place if we were more knowledgeable about who we really were. We weren't so pressed on depending on some sky deity that supposedly is the Father and the Son and the Spirit all at the same time. Supposedly died for our sins, but once he came back to life, he disappeared, never came back. While we're still out here suffering right now.
And if you think about it, a lot of that stuff don't even make sense. You know what I mean?
None of it
like
makes
the Father,
sense.
the Son, all as being one person. That's
None of it makes
confusing. How
sense.
how could all three of those entities be just one person? And another thing, the difference is with Jehovah's Witnesses. I understand what you were saying about the churches and things of that nature. How they put all the money back into the preacher or put it back into the actual building. The funds that we have, that we receive from the community or from, we don't even charge for the stuff. We give the stuff for free. You
I know,
if
it'd
you
be all
wanna
on my
read it.
door.
Yeah, if you want to read it. So, and that's how it starts with educating yourself, like you said.
But this is the thing. If you're putting out false information, what exactly are you educating people on? That's actually miseducating.
Exactly, if it's false, right?
So what's true about this whole Jehovah Witness? Who is Jehovah?
Well, Jehovah, first of all, let me show you scripture. See, we get all our information from the actual Bible. You know,
The Bible
so
that
that's
was
where most
created
of
by
our
the same
information
white
comes
folks
from.
that raped, murdered, and tortured us. That all came from a white person, man.
Well, you
Our
have
spirituality was etched in stone thousands of years before white people ever existed.
and that's
Why are we getting our information from them? These are the same people that told us we were niggers, Negro, colored, African American, all of these other European-made terms. These are the same people. Like, why are we letting them tell us who we are, how we should be living, our God's orders, and like, none of that stuff existed back when we were thriving. So how is it that we need that stuff to be better people now?
You know, the Bible, they have been trying to get rid of the Bible from day one. They've been trying to make it extinct. Like you said, people that did read it, they were being tortured and killed. you know, they didn't want the Bible to be widespread for individuals to understand
Who-
and to learn from their culture or from, you know, from their ancestors from day one. So it's several different writers of the Bible. It's not just a white man or just one person that wrote it. It's several different individuals that was given that Holy Spirit from Jehovah God for them to be able to write the different scriptures in the Bible. So you have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. All these come from different.
That makes sense to you though.
Yeah,
Like one of the writers of King James, right?
Yep.
Homosexual. Ain't that a sin?
Well, homosexuality, yes, sure.
Yeah, but he was homosexual. And he's one of the main writers in the book, right? I believe Da Vinci is tied into that book. Shakespeare, homosexuals. Like that's all a part of their nature.
Well, see, but they weren't actually writers of the Bible though. So we have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. You know, if you want to, I can share with you like some of the writers.
Fabrication. See, this is my thing, man. 'Cause I get what you're trying to do. I grew up in church. My aunt's a pastor and all that. I get the whole thing. I go to church, I get it. I go to lunch, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I done had the Bible shoved in my face during dinner. You know what I'm saying? I get the whole thing, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to use something that is plagiarized, right? Something that was made by the same white supremacist, oppressive ass people that did all that they did to us. And you're trying to use one of their tools to convince me of something. It's not gonna work. I mean, to be honest with you.
I understand. So yeah, so you got a lot of
Like
people
you
have different background, different beliefs. So like I said, I can't force anybody to do that. I'm just trying to share to help people to like I said, I believe in the Bible. And so, and I know it helps me, it betters me. So if it betters me, then I'm going to try to push that same info on the next person as well.
How does that help you any more than it would help yourself to believe in yourself?
Exactly.
Or maybe believe in the ancestors that you know for a fact that you came from. Opposed to all these people in the Bible that there is no kind of historical documentation that they ever existed. Right? Jesus, is he black or white?
Well, he's not a black individual. You know, the continent that he came from, he would be more of a Middle Eastern individual.
What continent is that?
If you want, I can actually come back and
what continent? What
continent did Jesus come from?
Yeah.
What continent did Jesus come from? He was born in the
Okay, you said he was from the Middle East.
Yeah, from the Middle Eastern.
What is the Middle East?
What is the Middle East?
Yeah.
More like of your Saudi Arabia area. I'm not a very mappish type of guy, but like more your Saudi Arabia, overseas type of areas.
When you're educating people, you have to make sure that you're educated as well.
Exactly.
And with those maps, first of all, those maps have been altered, right? There is no such thing as the Middle East. Most of what you call Middle East is actually Africa. Just like you get people that claim they're from Israel, but not Africa, when Israel is in Africa. All right. Jesus, if he was to exist, would have been from Africa. All right. The problem is he didn't exist. His whole story is based off of African deities. If you ever heard of Heru, or what the Greeks call Horus, their story is identical. But Horus existed thousands of years before Jesus. Way back when Jesus was said to exist, the letter J wasn't even in the English alphabet. So how was his name Jesus? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear exactly what you're saying. But you know, at the same time, I don't profess to know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation either. I learn on a daily basis as well. And what I do learn, that's what I try to help other individuals to come to an understanding of. And actually, for you to come to your own understanding, you know, to read it yourself.
Okay,
so I can't tell you, oh, go after what I do or this is what I believe.
What I would
can show you know what I mean?
What I would say to come into a better understanding is to read outside of that book. Because you can't really get a grasp, a good knowledge of something by just being limited to that book or to that doctrine, right? So if you look outside of that, then you can kind of say, okay, well, all of these other things are saying the same thing, and this is all matching up, so maybe this does make sense. Or you can say, whoa, all of this is contradicting this right here. This makes more sense. Or this, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you got to look outside of that, and you also have to research that which you are subscribing to. Not just reading the book itself, reading about how the book came into existence, when it came into existence, who put all of that into play. You know what I'm saying? Are you familiar with any of the councils?
The councils?
Yeah.
The councils as far as who?
Like the Council of Nicaea, Council of Chalcedon. It's another one I want to bring up. Jamnia.
So no, I'm not too familiar with all of those individuals. But like I say,
okay.
So you can have your own belief. You have to be able to read. I can't go off of what another man says. I have to see it myself. I have to read it. I have to research it to make sure that I understand it. And if I understand it makes sense, then I say, you know what, it makes sense. That makes sense.
So this is why I'm responding the way I am, because I don't just want to believe what you're telling me. In fact, I've already heard all of that, and I've done the research myself. So this is why I'm giving you something that you may want to go back and look into if you care to expand your knowledge. I'm not saying you ain't got to believe what you want to believe or whatever, but if you care enough to just want to know things, just look at some of that stuff. Those councils, they were basically meetings that a lot of the popes, all the bishops, and all of those different entities that work throughout the Vatican, they all came together, and depending on which council, like the Council of Nicaea, they all got together and they decided, okay, well, we got all these people believing all these different gods and stuff. We're gonna basically make it to where everyone believes in one God, one true living God, and all that, right? They get together and say, okay, these books are gonna go in the Bible, these books won't. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me this one thing. So you saying that you basically just believe in your ancestry. You don't believe that there is a God or his son, or a son, or Jesus.
There's definitely a sun that's shining right now. That's what the sun is. Okay, the S-U-N, not the S-O-N. I believe in the source. It would be stupid for me to say we came from nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What I don't believe in is all of the European versions of
that source.
Our true spirituality. That's what it is. Most of the stuff that they put out there, it's been twisted and basically made to fit their agenda. But a lot of people believe in some of it because there is a little bit of truth in it, because they learned that little bit of truth from our ancestors.
Okay, so you
they just took that and turned it into what they wanted.
So you do believe that there is something, the reason why the sun is proportioned at a certain distance where we're not burned alive. You know, you do believe that somebody did create this beautiful earth. And it's too complex for us to just have popped and evolved and gotten here. You know, we're too complex for that. You know, just creation. You cut the grass and the grass growing back and being green like that, or the flowers being pretty like that. That had to been. Or
birth, the creation of human beings. It's too complex to come from clay or a rib.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A rib bone.
Right.
Out of this rib, he made Eve. But after that, everybody else procreates. Don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Did Adam and Eve have navels? Did they have umbilical cords? Because most humans do. You know what I mean? It don't make sense to me. But at the end of the day, I'm all about the root over the fruit, if you will.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So before I believe in the story that's only 6,000 years old, I would much rather go with the story that was hundreds of thousands of years old, that actually have historical documented proof, that people all around, not just black people, white people, all kind of scholars can sit here and say, okay, the oldest human bones trace back to Africa, and those bones are hundreds of thousands of years old. So if those bones are older than the story of Jesus, that tells me something ain't right.
And at the same time, if you think of a lot of scientists and a lot of your scholars, they need to have some type of physical evidence you know, pointing to that happening. But
Right.
just like the air, I mean, we don't see it, but we know it's there.
Okay.
You know, we know that we breathing it to survive.
Okay.
You know, so how
So,
did that?
so on that point, right? In Africa, you see to this day they are constantly digging up old tombs with mummified remains in there, gold and all kind of stuff that you can physically see yourself, and it all traces back to Africa and black people. Not once have they shown Jesus' tomb, Moses, Mary, or any of that. So, common sense tells me I'm gonna go with something that I can physically see. Okay? Yeah, we can't see air, right? But we can breathe it, right? Sometimes you can smell it if it's polluted. I don't see anything Jesus, anything out that Bible, I don't physically see outside of some of the truth they put in there, which a lot of people, again, like this is one thing, people be like, okay, well, the Bible must be true because all of this bad stuff that it says is going to happen is happening, right? So, the way I think, if I plan to say maybe kidnap you two and do all kind of messed up stuff to y'all 8 months from now, and I'm calculating this plan, right? And I'm writing it down and everything, and I put it out there, and then 8 months later y'all get kidnapped and all kind of crazy stuff go on, you be like, dang, it's some kind of miracle, because you know, like, come on now, if the same people that wrote this Bible did all of that stuff to us, then of course it's gonna be in there. You know what I'm saying? It's common sense to me. But the Bible coming from God and all, like, I'm not buying it. That Bible came from a printing press. That's why I got copyright on there. Right? People wrote that Bible, not
Right.
God. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know why he had people write it for us?
Why?
Because they're a human is more in tune with what we do on a daily basis.
Okay.
A human can relate, you know, have feeling, you know, emotional, going through same type of situations, life and death, you know, seeing the same thing that we're seeing. So they can relate more to another human. See, that's how much Jehovah God loves us. If he wrote it himself directly, would you even be able to understand it? Would you even be able to understand his logic?
So he don't talk to you? He don't answer your prayers and none of that? Because people swear by down, he talked to him. He answers prayers and all of that stuff, so they can understand him then, but they couldn't understand him passing his message down to him. He needed other humans to do it so they could understand it.
That's
How
what
much
he did.
sense
So
does that make?
He put that Holy Spirit within them. He told them their thoughts. He connected with those individuals and aided them in writing the Bible. Since they didn't write it just from
Okay,
themselves,
so when people pray to God
Mhm.
or Jehovah or whoever, when he answers their prayers, does he send people to their house to relay that message like he did with the Bible for them to write the Bible? Or does he just talk to them directly? You,
He's not gonna, he
do you
doesn't
pray
talk
to him?
every day?
He talk to you?
All day long. No, he doesn't talk to me directly. I can see his hand working and through movements that I do in a certain way. Say, for instance, I pray to let this happen. I need a vehicle, or I need to. I want to be healthier, or could you please guide me this day and help me to help the next individual out? He's gonna move you in that direction, but you have to act in harmony with that prayer in order for things to be revealed to you. I can't say, please help me get out of this neighborhood, please help my neighbors be better, but I'm out here robbing them, you know what I'm saying, beating up on them, selling them, whatever. You know, I can't pray to him to help me to have a better neighbor if I'm not out here trying to do something with my neighbor. You see what I'm saying? So I have to work in harmony with that prayer. No, he's not going to come to me directly back like he did back in Bible times and deal directly with people through miracles and showing them things of that nature. No, that stuff is far from existing.
So for one, when did that change? Because back in the Bible time when he did the miracles and all that, it was more direct. But yet you said he talked to the people to get them to write the Bible because people could relate to people more, not him and all. So it's still not making sense. But that goes back to me asking you, why wouldn't it be just as easy for you to believe in yourself? Right? You saying you ask for certain things, a new car, a house, or this or that, and then you see his hand moving and working in mysterious ways and all of this. But why can't it be you putting your time and energy, your affirmations and things that you want, your thoughts into the universe, and them actually manifesting, because you are that powerful being to make those things happen.
That's how it starts. It starts
Okay.
by you wanting
So,
to make that change and do something.
okay, but where does this Jehovah kick in at? So, I just got finished taking a class, right? Blueprint reading. Okay. Out of 4 quizzes, I got 3 100%, and one of them was like a 96 or a 98. Right? Not
So
one
you got
time.
three A's.
Out of 4 quizzes, 3 were 100%, and one was like a 96.
Okay.
My final, I got 100% on my final.
Okay.
Not one time did I pray to Jehovah or anybody else. I studied. I read the material they gave me, studied it, answered my questions, and got those good grades. Right? It would be crazy for me to say, oh, that ain't nothing but Jesus. Jesus moved his hands and did some kind of stuff and made it to where I aced those tests.
I got you on that point. But
You know what I'm saying?
what about what helped you to study and to read that? What part of your body helped you to do that?
More than likely my brain. Right?
And I didn't create my own brain.
No. But I'm pretty sure your mother had a lot to do with that, your mother and your father. Right?
What about their parents?
And they created you. Okay, and that goes back to some more parents, right? Some more human beings that birthed you, that nurtured you, that carried you through the 9 months, gave you all the nutrients and everything you needed. When you came out that womb, there was no Jesus for you to know or anything like that. You were born with everything you needed to be the great person you are.
Right. But we still agreed upon that our bodies didn't just evolve. So
Yeah.
it had to been some type of higher being, like you say, that
some type of higher
gave
being.
us these
So
bodies.
what tells us that this some type of higher being name was Jesus? And where's the proof?
It's all in the Bible. Like I said, I believe in the
Again,
Bible.
you're trying to use the Bible to validate something that is false. You can't use a lie to show me the truth.
Right,
I mean, I can see a lie and know what it is, so that I know the difference between a lie and the truth. You understand?
Right.
But you can't use a lie to validate a truth like that. That lie itself is truth. Like, it don't work like that.
But we all believe that there's a higher being, right? You believe that there is a higher being. Can we agree on that?
I believe there's a source. I don't know if it's a being. I wouldn't call it a he or a she, or anything like that.
Right.
I do believe in energy.
Right.
I believe in positive and negative energy. I believe in masculine and feminine energy.
You got a lot of that going on, bro. Working out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you taking care of yourself, so you wanna, you
Strong.
like to live.
You know what?
You like life.
I like to think of myself as a strong black God. King. Alright? That's what I refer myself to.
Okay.
Black God, black king. If I came from that, right?
Right.
If I was created in his image, I can be that, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm saying, like, hey.
I mean, that's what it is. We are, as a people, we are the closest to this creator, whatever it may be.
Right, at least we were made in his image.
We are
He wants
the
us-
closest.
That's why we have free will.
We are the
You know,
original.
he didn't create us, or she, who the God,
Mhm.
as we know him as, which we call him Jehovah from the Bible. He created us with that free will to make choices.
Mhm.
We have the choice to read. We have the choice to understand. We have the choice to do what we want to do in life. For you to
Indeed.
be the greatest person, you can be the president. You could be whoever you want to be. Or you could be walking down the street and don't have anything. It's up to you. You can make that choice.
Mhm.
We all have choices in life. And whatever path that you choose, then when the time comes and you have to answer for that path that you chose, then that's what it is. I did this because this was the facts, this is what I knew, this is what I read, this is what I understood.
I wouldn't say facts, but let me ask you this, because everything is in God's divine plan, right? He pretty much orchestrates everything. He's omnipotent. He's the Almighty.
Not right now.
He's
Not-
in
not-
control. When
not
did he
right
lose
now.
control?
He's not in control of this system now because the simple fact was when
Peace.
Satan's main argument, I'm gonna let you go in a minute and catch up with my group too.
What's going on, good brother? Chilling. How about yourself?
You all right?
Oh yeah, we having a good conversation. Peace and love.
But the issue all came from when Satan wanted to be God, right? He wanted everybody to worship him.
Okay.
So the thing was, so Jehovah, the reason why we seeing so many bad things happen, so many things occur, is because of that simple fact. Because Jehovah God's trying to show us that man cannot even direct their own steps. We cannot direct our own steps. And we can see that over history.
We got free will, but we can't direct our own steps.
That's what he's showing us now.
That doesn't make sense.
We have free will to do whatever you want to do.
So if we can't we have free will, but we can't direct our own steps. Who's directing them for us? Who's controlling us?
You are right now. You're in control of your own self because you have.
So how is it I can't direct my own steps?
You are.
You just said I couldn't.
Huh?
You just said I couldn't.
You are right now. Can you give yourself a perfect health?
Yes.
You can give yourself perfect health.
I surely can.
You can live forever.
I wouldn't say I can live forever in this body, but yes, I can. Again, I believe in energy. Mm-hmm. We're energy beings. Mm-hmm. Once the body goes away, the energy doesn't die. Okay. If that wasn't the case, why is everybody so hell-bent on, excuse the pun, heaven? Why worry about that if we don't live forever?
In heaven, everybody doesn't.
But hold on, I want to get back. I want to get back to my point, though. Right? We're talking about free will and all of that, right? Everything is in His divine plan, so people tell it. Okay. You were saying that Satan, I guess he's controlling things now or whatever, but Satan was created by God. God created all things, right?
With free will.
Including evil, sin, the whole nine. So it just doesn't make sense to me. If we're all created by God, we're His beautiful children and all of this good stuff, why He would create something so evil and vile as Satan? Okay, they say he didn't start out evil. He used his free will and became the evil thing that he was. But if God can create the sun, the moon, the stars, He can make it to where every single human being goes through the same evolutionary process. He can do all of these miraculous things. Why not just get rid of Satan so His people don't have to suffer? So these innocent babies don't get shot down in drive-bys. So they don't get beat and drowned in tubs, raped, left and burned in abandoned houses, burnt and all. Like, why would God not stop all of that if He had all of this power and control?
You know why? Because He's a just God. He's a righteous God.
That's righteous. Let a little baby get raped is righteous?
Nope, not at all. The point is, Satan said we don't need God to live. We could do this on our own.
But God is almighty. Why not? If you had somebody was out there that meant nothing good to your mother, your brother, your child, or anything like that, and you knew it, and you had the power to destroy it, you would just let it be because of free will?
But you got to get the point, too, as well, that He's allowing enough time to go by to prove to people, see what's happening? When I let you guys rule the world, when I let you guys take a charge, see what's happening?
How much time was this?
How much time has gone by?
Yeah.
It's been since Adam and Eve, right?
When was Adam and Eve?
Since Adam and Eve.
When was Adam and Eve?
BCE, before Christ.
BC. And once again, you're going back to a story that was a story. We were here thousands and thousands of years before they ever existed. So again, it doesn't make sense. That's like me telling you life started with me, but I got parents. It don't make sense.
Right, that doesn't make sense at all. We know that, right?
So there were humans in existence before Adam and Eve. So how did it start around that time frame?
Okay, so you said Adam and Eve wasn't the first.
I'm saying they didn't exist.
You said okay.
But if you want to say they did, they surely didn't. They weren't the first if you want to go by the chronological timeline. It's not possible. Okay. So, I mean, like, you're trying to use these different stories to justify how things are and why they are, but at the end of the day, if you can't even prove how they even existed, if they did, then you really can't prove the point.
Like you said, you don't believe
these are stories, but what I'm saying is these are documented facts, though.
I heard.
Okay, these people that I'm telling you existed thousands of years before them, it's documented.
Okay,
Historically documented, not just, well, we heard the stories and it's been going on from generation to generation. I'm talking about scientific proof. Things that, tangible things that you can see that people done dug up and done the research on, opposed to just stories that you hear. Adam and Eve, story. That's mythology. It's all based on, what up though? All based up on prior people in their lives. Like Jesus, again, Heru. Isis, or I'm sorry, Aset and Asar. Alright? African terms. Greeks renamed them Osiris and Isis. But them, along with Heru, those were the original Holy Trinity. That was the Mother, the Father, and the Son. Before the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Why they took the woman out the picture is a little suspect to me. On top of the fact that they do have a lot of homosexuality into that religion. Why take the woman out when we all came from a woman? When we're supposed to be honoring and venerating that woman, why would you take her out the equation? Don't make sense to me. But another story that's been plagiarized.
Research from what you researched. Why they took the woman out of the story?
You said why?
You said that was research that goes back from your ancient African.
Talking about original people, deities, versus the plagiarized version.
You know what I'm saying? You said they took something out. They took the woman out of the equation that didn't make sense to you. But you didn't agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Like I said,
Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But the original Holy Trinity was man, woman, and child. Black man, black woman, black child. When you look at the picture of a so-called Mary holding Jesus and all of that, that's old. That's Aset and Heru. The same one I told you whose story is identical to Jesus.
Like I said, I don't believe
that's
in the
black
Trinity,
woman and child.
We don't believe in the Trinity. We don't believe in the Father, the Son,
okay,
and the Spirit being all one individual. So that's not something that we believe in.
I get that. I'm just going. I mean, I'm trying to touch a little bit of everything to show you how it don't make sense. But at the end of the day, all of those religions came from the same main religion, which is Christianity.
To be honest with you, if we try to touch on every subject, brother, we'd be here for the next couple of years talking about it.
I do this every day, all day. That's why I was surprised y'all came up here, because we could go on all day.
Oh, I'll still come by and talk to you, man. Because like I say, if I see you out here, that's my neighbor. Hey, what's going on? Right. How you doing today? How's everything going? You know what I'm saying? You never know. We all going through something on a daily basis, and we all need some type of pick me up to say, okay, it's gonna be all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you can't eat if you're not getting up doing nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to, like I said, you your own king. You have to maneuver in ways to feed you and your family. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself. But like I said, I'm gonna leave you on this note. Just say that we do agree that there is a higher source, right? It's something that put all this into place. Something we came from something. We ain't just snap of a finger and everybody, or a big bomb, and this is what came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave you with that. And I'll talk to you. My name is Ron.
All
What's
right.
your name?
Gil.
GodBODY.
I'm Durante.
That's my son's Toronto.
Okay, young king, I like that.
All right, so next time I'm around, like I said, if I see you over here, I'm still gonna come
Now,
out.
I wish I had some good literature to leave y'all that y'all can look into. I don't know if you would actually look into it, but I wish I did, man. But I don't really have a whole lot of extra copies. I got a ton of books. But
and that's good. That's good that you're a reader. That
those are some things, man.
Instead of just hearing me and him come tell you, hey, you need to do this, and you like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. You wanna.
I did that for a long time.
Things for yourself so that you can
I did
understand.
that for a long time.
Yeah.
And once I started looking outside of what everybody else was telling me, all the stuff that just didn't make sense to me my whole life, but I couldn't really question, because I'm not supposed to question God, which is another. All is faith. You can't ask questions, right? If things don't make sense, like that's how we were. Well, that's how I was raised. Ask questions. Right. That's how you learn. Ask questions.
Exactly. You gotta ask questions.
You know. But then when I say, oh well, who was God talking to when He said, "Let us make man"? Like, who was us? don't question God. God's plan is perfect. Blah blah blah.
See, it never was
You know what I'm
ever
saying?
done.
Like it was a sin. You can't ask questions like that
Yeah.
when it don't make sense.
Yeah. If it don't make sense, it don't
You
make
know?
sense. I agree with
And
you.
I'm like, okay, you know, parent, grandparent, they ain't gonna tell me nothing wrong. I ride with it, but it never meshed with it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe next time I stop by, maybe like I said, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know it all myself.
Mhm.
But next time I come through, maybe we can sit back and chop it up and say I can actually tell you like or show you. Cause I'm gonna go. I do research myself too. I don't just believe
Okay.
everything. So I'm gonna go do my research and come back and let you know exactly where I believe
Okay.
Jesus was rose and where he came from.
Okay.
That be fair?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right.
You familiar with Serapis?
Oh,
Serapis.
Serapis?
Mm-hmm.
Serapis. Serapis. Is that
Serapis. Serapis.
S-A-R-P-I-S.
Serapis. Serapis.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah.
See?
You might find out where Jesus came from.
Okay. All right. See you. So you might have already beat me to it. So like I said, I don't profess to know everything.
I'm not gonna ask you nothing. I'm not gonna sit here and say I know everything. You know.
But like you said, you let you
Even some of the stuff that I mentioned, I can't just break down every detail, name, dates, and all of that good stuff. But I got a good foundation.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm
at the
saying?
end of the day, having knowledge is great, but is knowing exactly where he was born or his exact birthday or, you know,
Yes, it is.
exactly. Does that
Yes,
really,
it is.
in the long run? You already know
Because
everything.
if you really don't know, then you don't know if it's true or not.
Exactly. If you don't know if it's true or not. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You really don't know. You're still going off of hearsay, belief and faith, which they push all the time. But belief and faith is not based off of facts. So just because you believe in something don't mean it's real. So you can live your whole life believing in something,
Right.
but if you're not following
knowing for
something
sure.
that's real and true,
Right.
then you kind of rolling the dice.
But let me, like I said, I'm gonna go back and do some little more research.
All right, good brother.
Come back and we talk about something else too.
All right. Peace and love.
All right, good.